Good morning. It's Friday, March 27th, around 8:50 a.m. Getting ready to get back on the trail. We spent the night at Creekside Paradise Bed and Breakfast. This place was amazing, amazing. For $40, we got a drive to and from town, which was actually about 25 minutes both way or one way. For resupply, we got a drive to the trail, a drive from the trail. We got some beautiful, comfortable beds, showers, laundry, a huge breakfast, an amazing facility. I mean, I can't believe the value we got here. It's been a good start to today. We have about 7.7 miles to get to Fontana Dam. Not a lot of miles today, not a lot of miles yesterday, but great way to rest up going into the Smokies. It's going to be a big climb going into the Smokies tomorrow. We were considering starting it today, but it's another 12.5 miles to the first shelter. And when you're in the Great Smoky Mountains, they require you to stay at the shelters. They require you to sleep in the shelters, which have room for about 12. Now, if the shelters are too crowded, they let you tent around the shelters. But the Smokies are known for their bear activity, so there's possibility we'll see bears while we're there. First thing I'll do is videotape it, obviously, and take photographs before I scare it away. Anyway, though, we're having a good start to our week, or to our day, I guess you'd say. It's sunny today and beautiful. While in the Smokies, expected to rain probably about 4 of the days, and we'll probably take about 6 days to get through. It's 78 miles, maybe 5 days, I don't know. We may get off in Gatlinburg, which is midway through. We're trying to keep our resupplies every 4 days so that we're not carrying so much weight. But again, I want to show you this facility one more time before we head out this morning. It's been a good morning. I'm excited to get started. Creekside Paradise is a 21-acre property. They got it in 2013. They moved down from Toronto, Canada. She's a retired veterinarian. I'm not certain what Jeff does, but this is part of their property back in here, and that's where she does her animal rehabilitation back there. And this is her cabin, very rustic inside and beautiful. She said they got the property cheap. It sounds like, and I'm guessing, probably around the $400,000 range. And I would say that it's a huge bargain for what they have. This is their yard. Check that out. And then the creek continues down this way. And they're back in the country, so Wi-Fi service is not great, but they do have Wi-Fi. Heavily wooded in the background, and it's been an amazing stay so far. But we're ready to hit it. Good morning, back on the trail. Got on that Yellow Creek Gap about 9:20 a.m. making our way towards Fontana Dam. So Gretel and Dodger are shooting out ahead of me as per usual, but so far so good. There's a female hiker up here as well that passes by. I don't know who she is. Meeting a lot of new hikers. It's going to be a crowd at the shelters going through the Smokies, I think. So we'll have to see how that plays out. The shelters can house 12 people, and the rule is you're required to sleep in the shelter, though if there's no space, they'll let you tent. So I would imagine that we're going to be doing some tenting. This week there's going to be rain on and off throughout the week, and I think next Sunday, not this Sunday, but next Sunday, it's supposed to be a big rain day, so it'll be an opportunity to kind of test our rain gear to its fullest potential. But yeah, I think a lot of people worry about going through the Smokies in the weather because the weather's unpredictable. But I'm hoping that we have an easy trip through this week and we don't have that worry. So when we come out of the Smokies, we're going to be seeing some of the devastation from Hurricane Helene earlier, well, late last year, I guess. I don't remember when it was. But on the backside of the Smokies, I was told that there are hundreds of trees blown down that we're going to have to navigate through. So that should be fun. But we always do well working together. So I think we'll be fine. And we're not going to take any unnecessary risks, obviously. But yeah, let's see how we do today. Today's going to be a beautiful day. It's sunny. I can imagine I'll be down to shorts and a t-shirt here shortly. And excited about meeting up with 62 today. I think he's finally caught up. So we'll see how that works out. It's about 10 a.m. I'm getting my first glimpse of Fontana Dam. It's hard to see through the trees down there, but there's some blue, which is the water. It looks pretty big. I got about 4.4 miles to go to get down to that area, and it was 7.7 when we started. We've only been on the trail for an hour, and it's been a climb the whole time. So I doubt seriously I've done 3.3 miles. I haven't really checked that yet. I could, but yeah, according to the map, I'm only about 4.4 miles away. So we're gonna be hitting downhills here real soon, and it's gonna be downhill all the way in, which will be nice. But again, tomorrow's the big climb again, going into the Smokies. So Fontana Dam is known as the gateway to the Smokies, I guess you'd say. Super excited. This is kind of like another benchmark or milestone, getting into the Smokies, Fontana Dam, all of that. It's always an area of concern for people because of the weather, but I think we'll be all right. And then the other area that tends to be an area of concern for people up in New Hampshire and Vermont, the Whites, the Presidential Mountain Range, and all of that, I guess, because the weather's unpredictable up there. But that's a ways off, so I'll take it as I see it or as it comes. I tend to live every 4 to 5 days ahead. I try not to get too much further ahead than that. Otherwise, I would probably just be overly worried about things that I don't need to worry about. So 4 to 5 days ahead is basically my resupply option. And that's kind of how I've been living lately, and it's worked for me. As well as, you know, at the beginning of each week, making a dedication for my hike for the week. That's been very helpful as well. Keep the comments coming. It really does inspire me when I hear all of the kind words from my friends and family, because these hard days out here sometimes get a little demoralizing. Not to the point where I would ever stop, at this point anyway. But yeah, when I get those comments, it just inspires me and pushes me to do more. So thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. But yeah, here we are, and here we go. I'm so excited. I'm currently about 2.5 miles out from Fontana Dam Marina. That's where we're gonna meet up and go to the shelter. Making great progress. But as I film the trail, walking down, I want to share a story of the best trail magic I've had yet. This is just amazing. So about a week and a half ago, back in Hiawassee, I met a section hiker who goes by the name of Spartacus, and I took a photo with him, and he's an older guy. He carries this big staff, really cool. Well, I met up with him about 30 minutes ago coming into Fontana Dam, and this is where he's getting off the trail today after his section hike, and then he's going back to Tennessee. Anyway, I told him the story of having lost my headlamp 2 nights ago at the Brown Fork shelter. Still haven't found it. I have word out. But anyway, he said that he found a headlamp. It's not my headlamp, it's another headlamp. And he knew who the headlamp belonged to. It was another section hiker, but before he could get that headlamp to that other section hiker, the section hiker had left the trail. So he gave it to me. Check this out. I now have another headlamp. Not the one I started with, but this will do the job. This one operates by battery. My other one was rechargeable. Not a problem. I'm so thankful. So he was very kind. He had his own headlamp. He showed me, and he said, I don't need 2, so why don't you just go ahead and take it, because I'm never going to get it back to the original owner. And so now that saves me the grief of having to buy one. I mean, the expense obviously, but then also I didn't really have any options for where to buy one here in probably the next 40 or 50 miles, not until I would have gotten to Gatlinburg. But anyway, I won't have to do that because of Spartacus's generosity. It's just so cool how the trail provides. There's that saying that the trail provides. I mean, there have been so many stories that I've read about hikers having had some form of an issue where they either had to get off the trail, but they had no way of doing so. And then by some miracle, somebody comes along and has offered them a ride off the trail. Maybe they were short of food and someone had extra food, but there's always something. So this was a great act of kindness. The lady that took out my stitches back in Hiawassee, the nurse, registered nurse, another example of the trail providing. Just so cool out here. This trail community is amazing. It's really what keeps us inspired to keep going as well. There are so many inspirations out here for us. And yeah, I'm just so thankful and so happy to have that issue resolved. So regardless of whether mine is found or not, I have one to use. So anyway, continuing on my journey, I've come across 3 or 4 hikers that I've passed by. Gretel and Dodger are out ahead, obviously, still, and making good progress. We've done our climb for the day, so it's all downhill. I say that, and now I see an uphill climb, but nothing major. This looks like a nice little camping spot for whoever would have used it, near a creek. But yeah, I'm on my way, crossing this little footbridge across the creek. looking forward to getting to Fontana Dam and starting the next leg of this adventure. Okay, here you go. This is right next to this little walking bridge. So I'm starting up now, and yeah, I'll check back with you later. It's 11:45, coming down into the Fontana Dam area. I know that there's a lot to this area, so I don't know where we are in relation to the dam itself, but I'll tell you that we did 7.7 miles in less than 3 hours, about 2 hours and 40 minutes, which is really fast for us. You know, we did have some climbing at the beginning, but for the most part, it's been downhill. There's been some rocky areas to navigate. There's been a lot of smooth downhill and a lot of little wooden steps, but overall, I'm pretty happy with our progress. We got down here a lot sooner than I thought we were. My original thought was 2 p.m. Then I revised that to 1 p.m. Like I said, it's only 11:45 right now. So this is a parking lot I'm coming upon now. I know there's Fontana Marina, there's Fontana Village, and the Fontana Dam area, Visitor Center, the shelter. So for all I know, those areas might be another mile down the trail. I don't know, but made it to a main road, the parking lot, I guess. So again, still pretty happy. I guess this sign up here is going to tell us what's going down in terms of distances and where I am. But yeah, pretty happy. So Fontana Dam shelter is still 1.1 miles away. Fontana Dam Visitor Center 1.4. So yeah, I've got some distance still. So maybe not so fast as I thought, but still happy with the progress. 12:20, made it into Fontana Village. So basically, we'd come off the trail. We were down by the marina. Didn't realize that Fontana Village was so far up. And there were about 8 people waiting there for the shuttle when a van pulled up, and he said he had room for 3. So I shouted out there were 3 of us, and he ended up being a local hostel owner. And so he gave Gretel, myself, and Dodger a ride up to Fontana Village. Now, the shuttle service is unreliable, he said, and the walk up here and down back to the marina is not very safe. So at any rate, we're here now, and we're gonna have a beer and a sandwich, and then try to figure out a way to get back down to the marina, where we're gonna be needing to go to the shelter eventually. Worst case scenario is we hike down there, or it could be as late as 4 o'clock before we catch the shuttle, if that's what we choose. But we're currently hiking up to the restaurant, and it's an uphill, and it's a nice warm sunny day. So we got lucky with our hitch, I guess. We didn't really hitch a ride. We were offered a ride, so it doesn't count as a hitch. Anyway, there we are. We just had lunch at the Fontana Village Resort. This is the community. We were told by the guy that gave us a ride up here, he owns one of the hostels nearby, that this resort used to be the housing for the people that built the dam, and that it's not really occupied very much anymore, maybe by some of the employees in the area, but I guess most of this is going to be like summer rental sort of things. So even though it looks like a vibrant community, there's really not much going on here. Unfortunately, they only do 2 shuttles a day between here and the marina, and the marina is where the trail picks back up, takes us to our shelter, and it's 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. It's currently 2 p.m. We were fortunate enough to hitch a ride up here with a guy that just was kind enough to offer it, though it might be hard to get a ride back down there. And the roadway is known for people that like to race their fast cars, I guess, because it's windy, so it's not safe to walk the roadway. There's no real trail. So right now we're kind of stuck up here. It's only 2 miles away down to the marina, but the worry is that the shelter is going to fill up. It can house 21 people apparently, but we know of a lot of hikers that were taking a 0 day. That means they took the day off today, who are staying at that shelter. So they're pretty much set up there already. And there are a good number of hikers coming down the mountain and going into the shelter. So we may miss out if that happens. I'm not certain what our plan is. We'll have to come up with something. But anyway, at least it's sunny and beautiful, and the community's nice. It's not really trail at the moment, but I thought I'd kind of show you what we're up to. It's 2:30. We had a nice lunch at Fontana Village Resort. Up the way, we were able to catch a shuttle back down, thankfully, before the 4 p.m. shuttle. We're back on trail now, as you can see, heading toward the Fontana Hilton, which basically is one of the shelters on the trail, one of the largest ones. I think it has occupancy for 21 hikers, and bathrooms, potable water, showers. So that's the luxury that you don't typically get with a shelter. That's why they called it the Hilton. And our hope now is that we can get a space there, because even though 21 seems like a lot of room, you know, there are a lot of hikers coming in. Some are zeroing, taking the day off, which means they've been there for 2 days and they're already set up. So I guess we'll find out shortly how we do, but we're on our way. Okay, we are at the Fontana Dam shelter. That's the bathroom. They actually have 2 showers in there and 2 bathrooms. They have a water faucet there and a garbage can. For people that choose to camp, they have tents set up here. There's a paved road, which I'm going to take down to the shelter. I'm sleeping in this shelter again to save time for setting up a tent. Plus, I think all of the good tent sites are taken up there anyway. There's probably about 30 to 40 people gathered at this shelter, either camped or otherwise. They'll be making it into the Smokies tomorrow, which tells me that the shelters up there are going to be pretty full as well, because they only house 12. And when they're full, then you have to camp, which is fine. But they require the first 12 to camp, and not everybody does. So we'll see how that plays out. And the shelters are strategically placed where basically with the climbs and all that you have, it's pretty much guaranteed everyone's going to end up at the same spot, unless they're really into hiking big miles, which is not necessarily the case for most of us. So we're going to hit the first one tomorrow at mile 12 and a half. And then we're going to pace ourselves and try to go 12 and a half miles each day after that. So it's kind of where we're at. But this is a shelter. It's kind of like a double shelter compared to what we've been at before. There's 2 sides that are double decker. I'm on the lower left side, but provides room, they say, for 21 hikers. I don't know truly how many. There's probably about 12 in there now. I'm not sure. There are hornet nests on both sides, but the hornets have been keeping themselves outside, which is nice. There are a lot of people swimming in the lake, which to me seems crazy because apparently it's super cold. But I'll show you the lake here in a minute. Here's the entrance. Here's one side. And we're set up over here. I'm in the middle of Gretel and Dodger. Here's the other side. Typically I wouldn't film this if there were people in here because I don't want to invade on their privacy. But you can see there's all kinds of names and such scribbled in. Fontana Reservoir. They have a nice deck out here where people are kind of relaxing. They have a phone charging station, which I guess works with USB, so I can charge my phone there if I choose to. A water refilling station. So this is why they call it the Fontana Hilton. A little more, a better situation than what we've been in. So the last few nights on the trail, we've had this guy playing ukulele, and we have a girl that plays harmonica, which is always nice too. It adds to the community. Same group of people we've been camping and hiking with for the last 3 to 4 days, basically. But all is well. It's been a great day. A shorter day than usual, but yeah, it's going well. It's currently 6:30 Friday night. We're at the Fontana Dam shelter, getting ready to call it a night. It's a beautiful night out. Might stay up a little later, but we're going to enter the Smokies tomorrow. I'm supposed to start off nice, but I think rain's coming tomorrow night. And Sunday is going to be raining off and on with potential severe thunderstorms. Same thing for Monday, raining off and on most of the day. Potential for severe thunderstorms. We obviously don't want to get caught out in the thunderstorms, so we're going to have to think on the fly as we go. But our plan is to catch a ride into Gatlinburg, Tennessee on Tuesday. And if our gear is wet, then we'll be able to dry it out in a hotel, do a little resupply yet again, and kind of get ourselves together for the next section of this. We don't expect to stay in hostels or hotels every 4 nights. It's just been happening that way lately. But I think we're going to start picking up the miles here soon as well, which will make it much easier to get further along on the trail. I appreciate all your support and following along. Again, thank you so much. Sorry for the glare. Trying not to have so much glare, but thanks again, and Sunny D out.